Good morning upon you. It's Friday morning, January 3rd, 6:35 in the morning here in western Iowa, where the current temperature is 10 degrees, or if you're in Texas, it's 10 degrees. Let's check out our picture of the day. This is yesterday after our 3 inches of snow out at Prairie Rose State Park, about 10 miles from where I live. As the road goes, it's shorter if you were a crow, I guess. But yeah, really pretty. This is my favorite spot at the lake, and there's still some open water out there. Now it was starting to freeze. I went back in the afternoon, and there was already new ice forming in that area because we only hit 25 for a high, and so with temperature 9 degrees earlier this morning, 10 right now. I am going to go back this morning, and I imagine a lot of that will be starting to freeze. And we're certainly going to freeze the whole thing, thick enough for ice fishing as we go through the next couple of weeks. But let's concentrate on our next big storm that's going to be moving through the Midwest, all the way to the East Coast. So this is day 3 through 7 U.S. Hazards Outlook, valid from the 5th until the 9th, so starting Saturday and then moving into mid next week. And so we see some cold air starting to come southward into North Dakota. That would be, if I can focus, the 5th and the 6th, so the weekend. Then we get into the heavy snow, which goes all the way from Kansas, southern Nebraska, all the way through mainly Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, over to West Virginia, all the way to the East Coast. South of that, we're looking at freezing rain. This could be serious because it could be a lot of freezing rain. You're talking not just tree limbs down, but like parts of trees snapping off and power lines. I mean, there's likely going to be some power outages in this area, especially Kentucky. And then further south of that, it changes to rain and even severe weather from East Texas through Louisiana, Arkansas, into Mississippi, and near Memphis in western Tennessee. So when it's all said and done, here's our snow depth from Kansas all the way to the East Coast, and Kansas through Illinois. We're talking a good 12 to 16 inches here, and locally higher amounts. Especially northern Missouri could see 20 plus inches of snow. And then as you head to the East Coast, I mean, the snow amounts drop off, but still 8 to 10 through Indiana, Cincinnati, Ohio, Lexington, Kentucky, with the ice further south of that. So lesser amounts of snow and higher amounts of ice. And so with that snowpack on the ground and the cold air spilling in behind, those low temperatures where there's snow on the ground, Kansas, Missouri, we're seeing temperatures below zero, and then even single digits going all the way into Ohio. Single digits here in Iowa as well. So with that snowpack on the ground, and when skies start to clear, that radiational cooling, the heat just escapes the earth. And so it's going to be cold, and those deep snows are not going anywhere anytime fast. Now, while I'm on this map, I just want to mention I did go through the entire run, which is 2 weeks. And here in Iowa, we have lows near zero at the lowest, but single digits pretty much the next 2 weeks. Highs in the teens with a couple of exceptions of low 20s. So it's going to be cold, and it's going to stay cold for the next 2 weeks at least. All right, let's look out into the further future. This is January 10 through the 16, and where we could see heavy snow. So northern Rockies, central Rockies, northern plains, into the parts of the central plains. I don't know, is Nebraska northern or central plains? Some say it's the Midwest. So, and even peeking in here into western Iowa, we'll see. And then our southern snow, we have one computer model hanging on to Texas snow. We have one letting it go. And so right now we're looking at a slight risk on the 10th from Louisiana, Arkansas, all the way through North Carolina and South Carolina across the south. And then lake effect snow, both the eastern Great Lakes and the Michigan Great Lakes, 10th through the 14th. So that snow machine's going to continue to crank off of the Great Lakes. All right, back to this morning. Here, the 24-hour temperature change. It is cooler here in western Iowa because we have snowpack on the ground and it cleared up and the radiational cooling. So it's cold this morning. Again, single digits, 10 currently here in Harlan. It's a little bit warmer for Texas, Louisiana, and into Tennessee and Kentucky, and the west slightly warmer than this time yesterday. Those temperatures compared to average we're starting to get below average now for most of the east, and we're staying above average for much of the west and the southwest. But you do see that cold air in Canada lurking, starting to dip into North Dakota. So the current temperatures in North Dakota are in the negative numbers. We're in the single digits here in western Iowa, teens for some, 16 right now, Des Moines. But we have freezing temperatures all the way down through Amarillo and scattered 30s through even parts of the southeast into the mid-Atlantic. Warmer west. Here are today's hazards. And so we're already anticipating that snow through the center of the country. We'll talk about it here in a second. But let's start in Florida. Freeze warnings into southern Georgia. Then you get further north, and we're winter weather advisories for today. Parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. In West Virginia, also winter storm warnings. Then we do that swath through Kansas, southern Nebraska, through Missouri, all the way to Ohio. That is a winter storm watch. We are watching for the winter storm, winter weather advisories for western Kansas, up into South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana also with winter storm warnings. So be warned, there'll be a winter storm, winter weather advisories back through northern Idaho, Washington, Oregon, parts of Utah, parts of California, and parts of California also with winter storm warnings. So a lot of winter on this map. 48-hour precipitation, heavy rain still along the Oregon, Washington, Northern California coast. Some of that will be snow inland. It's going to be a lot of snow here in the plains. I don't think that's rain. And same for the Northeast, maybe a little bit of rain around New Orleans. So here is the snow on that map. And yeah, we're seeing some snow in the next 2 days. This is ending Sunday morning. So Saturday, we're seeing some snow moving into Nebraska. A little bit here of western, really southwestern Iowa, probably south of me mostly, but starting to snow already into parts of Kansas, into Missouri. You see the lake effect snows quite a bit in the Great Lakes. All right, surface for today. There's your heavy lake effect snow, also heavy snow in Virginia. It's a mix along the coast, maybe some rain, Texas Gulf Coast. It's snow moving into the northern plains, heavy at times in Montana, and a mix, rain or snow depending for the Pacific Northwest. And again, that freezing rain set up for the Columbia River Gorge east of Portland. Tomorrow, this is a little bit overdone because we're not going to see this much snow or freezing rain this far east on Saturday, unless you count overnight Saturday. But it'll start on Saturday. So that's where we're starting to see that Midwest Central Plains storm beginning this weekend. Further south, we're starting to see some thunderstorms with that. Lighter snows, but snows through the Rockies into the northern plains and Montana, hanging on to your locally heavy snow, rain or snow for the Northwest, and lake effect snow in the lakes. Sunday, here we go. This is the main event from Kansas all the way to Delaware. Heavy snows here, getting into southern Iowa along the Missouri border. Will it get far enough north to hit me with some nice snows here in Harlan? Well, right now the official forecast is 1 to 3 for us. But as you head towards Missouri, quickly moving to 6, 10, 12. Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, hardest hit, really into Ohio too. And then really what's worse is the freezing rain. And so you're looking for parts of Missouri into Kentucky, really, where the greatest threat for the most freezing rain is. And that's just going to cause a lot of problems. And then the severe weather possibilities, Arkansas, Mississippi, near Memphis, down through Louisiana into East Texas. So this storm has everything. And then the Pacific Northwest, rain or snow depending. All right, let's get through the GFS. We'll see if we can do this quickly. This is this morning, 6 a.m. Here's your light snow and some lake effect snow east and your rain and snow in the Pacific Northwest. As we go through the day today, this little stripe of snow, really interesting. It's been moving through western Iowa on like all the models for a week, and it's there again Saturday morning at 9. A little bit of light snow maybe here in western Iowa, really crazy. And then we see the snow up here in the northern Rockies, northern plains. This again, this is Saturday morning. And then as we get into Saturday afternoon, as we start to see our storm form, light snow Nebraska, Kansas, a mix for parts of Kansas, light snow Missouri, southwest Iowa, heavier snow back in the Rockies. And then as we go through the day through the afternoon and evening on Saturday, we're starting to see the snow pick up. And then as we get into Sunday morning, this is heavy snow, Kansas, southern Nebraska, southern Iowa, but mainly northern Missouri. And as that storm continues to gather strength, very heavy snow, Kansas. And there you see the freezing rain, Kansas into Missouri, heavy snow, Missouri. Here we go. This is Sunday at noon. And then the freezing rain starts in Kentucky, maybe northern Tennessee, parts of southern Missouri, maybe even northern Arkansas. But very heavy snow Sunday afternoon and evening from Kansas to Missouri into Illinois and Indiana, and just a brutal area of ice for southern Illinois, southern Indiana into Kentucky. South of that are severe weather here. Here's your strong low. And so, yeah, this storm is just going to make its presence felt, whether it's ice, snow, or severe weather. And as we get into Monday now, that whole mess moves offshore, and that snow all the way into Virginia, into New Jersey, and then starts to exit. A little bit of light snow back here in Nevada, Utah, Colorado for the 7th. This is the morning of the 7th now. This is Tuesday. So we're just seeing a little bit light snow there. You see the strong winds across the eastern Great Lakes and the Great Lakes. So lake effect snows continuing. So that's going to be a problem. Now let's turn our attention back into Texas, New Mexico. Does the GFS still have snow here? Well, certainly my camera doesn't want to work anymore. Let's see if I can turn that back on. I don't know why that. But meanwhile, you can still see the map, so that's the main thing. And as we go through, oh, I'm back. Hello, how you doing? As we go through Thursday morning, we're starting to see some snow in far west Texas here, some rain too for El Paso. And this is getting into Friday now. Rain and snow busting out. So a lot of rain, but some snow all the way down into the... And see if I can move this out of the way. Yeah, okay, we know it crashed. Thank you. All right, some snow down here, Permian Basin, parts into far west Texas, New Mexico. It's a lot of rain now for Texas, Louisiana. Not a lot of snow, but we are seeing some snow up here. This gets us into Saturday, so a week from tomorrow. So we still have some time to work this out. Now, the European still has snow across the south and the southeast, but the GFS has let it go. And the GFS warms us up on the 12th, at least on these maps. But when I went through the temperatures, we were still cold here in Iowa. But this has us a little bit warmer before another shot of cold air comes into Sunday. Now we'll go a little quicker now and see if there's any more snow on this map. I haven't even checked this far out. And it's probably not worth it because, who knows? Flip a coin. Maybe another storm for the plains by the... Oh, I see. This cycles through. I forgot I was on this different map. So anyway, so it's kind of a review of what we went through. And there you go. All right. The big storm and the big story is through the Midwest, right? Central Plains through the Midwest to the East Coast. It's going to be a mess. All right, 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, cold east, warm west, precipitation. Again, this is January 10 through 16, so this is after the big storm, but still above average chances of above average precipitation from the northern plains through the parts of the central plains into the southern Rockies, central and southern Rockies. All right, that's a look at our winter weather that's coming and will be quite dramatic this weekend. We'll have a closer look at it again tomorrow and keep you posted as we go, of course. Thanks so much for tuning in, The Weather Mike.